if I can be completely honest with you all, I thought I would leave this topic alone and just let Charlie, who is critical, talk about this because it's something that he talks about often and often and often. And I know that whatever I say is going to be kind of like a replica of what he said. But the situation has gotten bad enough that I want to make a video because I think everyone should be talking about this. The scalpers, the situation with scalpers, Pokemon, One Piece, and now Steam controllers have gotten so out of hand that I am obligated morally to talk about this so that as much awareness can be brought up to these absolute morons. I mean, the situation has gotten so bad that not only have we started seeing an increased amount of fights and fighting in front of the card machines, which by the way, the worst idea Pokemon has ever had was bring up those auto service card machines. That's the worst thing they've ever done. But also we started seeing some really heinous crimes like actual murder for a very small value of Pokemon cards, because these scalpers most of the time don't even know the value. They think that just because it is of that brand, they can sell it at whatever price, when it's not really the case. Not only that, One Piece has also fallen into this. The hobby has been completely ruined. This is obviously because of Logan Paul. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat this, right? Unfortunately, we have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse all in one called Logan Paul. The guy has been pestilence, he has brought war, he has brought famine and death all over these hobbies. He's been completely ruining hobbies such as TCG and soon, and you'll see this, manga collecting as well. It's actually kind of funny because I used to think that this situation, that this problem used to be America only, United States only, because of how Americans deal with commercial because of how Americans, wow, my voice changed after that one, because of how Americans deal with commercialization of products. You're just allowed, and it's perfectly legal, to do a lot of scummy things that in Europe it's not allowed. For example, Magic the Gathering cards on card market is actually almost double the price in America than it is in Europe. One of the worst things that Americans do with Magic the Gathering cards, that's the TCG I play, so I can talk about this a little, is they will list a card that has no value at all at a really high price. Then they will make another account. They will then buy that card for that huge price, and you will see on card market this insanely high spike in price for this card that actually has no real value. This is a way for them to pretend that, oh no, this card is actually really expensive, guys. If you buy this, you have to buy it at this incredibly inflated price. This is something that will not fly in Europe. If it's not just blatantly illegal, you'll just be called out by the community because they're just not stupid enough to fall for this. Honestly, I think that a lot of the times the real problem is Americans have just been poisoned by lead in so many of their products, like the Walmart chicken nuggets that were recalled just the other day. Sorry, my American viewers. I like you guys a lot. I see in my analytics that's most of you, but you have to recognize that a lot of your countrymen, they have the IQ of a potato. Moving on. After Logan Paul's recent beef, I'll call small beef with Speed, with iShow Speed, the price and the scalpers of TCG cards for One Piece TCG has also skyrocketed, with Speed even going out recently and literally throwing packs of One Piece cards of play boosters to the crowd. That's ridiculous. Like, they have no value. I mean, some lucky kid may get a card that is like $10, but they're not going to play the game. These cards were made to be played. They are not going to be anymore because the hobby is inaccessible. And like I was saying, I used to think this was a exclusive problem to America, but I went to my LGS where I play Magic sometimes, and I actually asked them how bad the situation actually is where I live. And they've told me, in fact, that it's pretty bad there as well. Not as bad as in America. Many card shops don't get robbed at gunpoint like they do in Texas, for example, but the situation is still pretty awful. They don't have a lot of stock because of this. And to make matters worse, We even have Scalpers taking advantage of the Steam controller sale. The Steam controller V2 was recently launched. Within 30 minutes it was completely sold out and lots of listings appeared on eBay. These people who have listed that they are selling this controller, this product, they do not own. It is a product they do not have. It has not arrived to them yet. And a lot of them are being taken down because it's literally a scam saying, I'm selling this controller, by the way, triple the price of a controller they don't have. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I've said this before, that my opinions are very different from the usual sloptuber. I am not a calm person. I think the best way to deal with scalpers is by beating them up. Not scalper versus scalper fight like they're just children fighting, it's ridiculous. No, I mean like you get a security guard guarding these stores, and if you see a guy taking out like 15 boxes of Pokemon cards, you just jump him. Just jump him and teach him a lesson. That is the best way to deal with this stuff. I mean, come on, man. They've sculpted the Pop-Tarts. What are you going to do with them? It's just the box. It's a Pikachu on the box. The Pop-Tarts themselves, they go bad. And they don't actually have like any different sprinkles or a different shape of sprinkles or even a different shape of cookie. I think it's a cookie. I don't know. No, it's just a Pikachu on the box. I mean, what's next? We're going to see the Scalpers buying the entire stock of Kubush juice as well because he has a Pikachu on the little juice box. It's ridiculous. These people are underdeveloped men children. They shouldn't even have the right to vote. It's honestly ridiculous. Yep, that's gotta be about it. Follow me on Twitter.